Hello science fans, and welcome to SHE-ensya. Do you ever wonder what it's like to be in the wonderful world of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? Let us hear from our SHE-roes, experts, students, and aspiring STEM advocates about what it's like to be passionate about science and technology. Join us in today's episode as we discuss the science behind ocean monitoring and protection and talk to SHE-roes who turn their passion into action. We live in a country that is part of the Coral Triangle, formed across the Malay Archipelago, Papua New Guinea, and Australia. The full extent of the Philippines' marine biodiversity is not known, but the best available information reveals something astounding. On record, we have at least 6,000 species of clams, snails, and mollusks. We have more than 488 species of corals. And so far, we also have 3,347 fish species listed in the International Fish-Based Database. We have a record of more than 981 species of bottom-living algae and thousands of other organisms. Such richness, according to experts, can be explained by our country's geologic history. Specifically, the isolation of smaller seas within the central Philippines in the Pleistocene ice ages, and the counterpart complex geological events leading to the integration of islands that created our archipelago. The formation of larger islands within the inner Philippine seas created barriers that trapped certain organisms within our part of the planet. And this created an opportunity for unique evolution to happen that generated a lot of new species. Learn more about this in our Season 1 video titled Why the Philippines is the Center of Marine Biodiversity. We'll put a link at the end of this video and also at the description box. Considering that we are the custodians of this unique environmental treasure, there is a great pressure for us to protect and conserve these natural resources. But overfishing, illegal fishing, pollution, climate change, and the destruction of critical marine habitats are taking a toll on our oceans and its ability to produce food for us. According to the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, about 75% of the country's fishing sites are overfished. Recent field surveys also indicate that less than 1% of Philippine coral reefs are in excellent condition. And this is alarming, considering that a lot of marine species live and breed within coral reefs. In 2015, the Philippine Fisheries Code was amended, and the government is now looking at science-based interventions to help protect our coasts and marine natural resources. But this is much easier said than done, because we have at least 500 marine protected areas and more than 36,000 kilometers of coastlines that would benefit from trained oceanographers and marine biologists that we simply do not have enough of. Studying the ocean and everything in it is an exciting but dangerous endeavor. Combined with the typical struggles of the members of the Philippine scientific community, why should we risk it all for our oceans? Perhaps it would be better if we hear from our 3 SHE-roes about their motivations for being active in the care of Philippine seas. Deauna Mendoza has degrees in environmental science and management and also in biology. She is currently a research associate at the Brother Alfred Shields FSC Ocean Research Center of the De La Salle University.
Hello science fans! I'm Jennifer Deauna Mendoza and I'm a university researcher in De La Salle University, Manila. I've been studying coral reefs for 5 years already.
It can be tough to decide what undergraduate degree to take if you want to be involved in caring for the environment here in the Philippines. But in the case of Jen, she made use of a degree in biology as a stepping stone for her current career.
I've always wanted to save the environment, but I didn't know how to start. I took up BS Biology in DLSU Manila, and a few months after college, I landed a research opportunity in Brother Alfred Shields Ocean Research Center. I was given the chance to study coral reefs in the Philippines, and that's how my journey started.
But there is a huge variety of other degrees that you can take up if you want to have a meaningful environmental or ocean advocacy. Miss Princess Mordeno, or to be more precise, Engineer Mordeno, is a chemical engineer and a research associate for coastal initiatives of the Brother Alfred Shields FSC Ocean Research Center of DLSU. And her journey started through curiosity.
Hello science fans, I am Princess Mordano and I am a chemical engineer by profession. I'm currently working in marine science research focused on coral reefs. As a child, our family outings were always on the beach. The ocean has always fascinated me, and it's always been my happy place. In the summer of 2014, my dorm mate, who's an instructor for Reef Check Philippines, invited me to a training she was facilitating. I saw how conservation science became relevant to the people who are dependent on the reefs. I see her processing images of coral reefs and in the dorm, and I often ask if what she's doing can be done by someone without a background in marine biology. Her answer, to her credit, was always consistent. You can always learn. So I guess the short answer to this question is that I followed my curiosity and it got me into getting a job studying the ocean and how we can best protect it from natural and human impacts.
And coming from the experience of Miss Princess, a team studying the ocean benefits from having individuals coming from different backgrounds.
Most job opportunities in marine science research are project-based. But my experience in going into marine science research is quite different. I discovered that the only requirement for going into this field is the willingness to learn. I am blessed to have a supervisor who took in people from different academic backgrounds. At one point, our team had a statistician, a geologist, and 2 chemical engineers.
Studying and trying to protect the ocean can seem intimidating. But with enough passion, you don't have to wait until you finish a degree before you start doing something that can make a difference. Bianca Nicole Lerma is a student of the University of Asia and the Pacific, and her love for the ocean led her to be one of the founders of ALON, an environmental organization of her university that aspires to contribute to the Earth's positive change by nurturing life in all its diversity.
Hello science fans! My name is Bianca Nicole Lerma, a third-year student taking up BS in Industrial Engineering at the University of Asia and the Pacific. I am a diver, ocean advocate, aspiring marine biologist, and I would like to consider myself a philanthropist.
A lot of critical environmental and political movements have been led by the youth, and Bianca's passion and love for the ocean is certainly a catalyst to create the change that we might need to open the eyes of our youth to how important it is to protect our oceans.
As I mentioned earlier, I'm currently taking up BS in Industrial Engineering, although I originally entered the university in Media and Entertainment Management. My dad actually suggested MEM because I've always been interested in making videos and taking pictures. We even planned out how I'll still be able to help even by being in that course, because I knew that my love for the ocean was not limited to what course I was in. I also believe that social media plays such a big factor on educating and spreading awareness. And I believe that alone will be able to help and inspire so many people to do great things for the environment.
At the front lines, ocean advocates are challenged by ignorance and apathy. And as warriors, we must possess the resilience, strength, and wisdom to constantly combat these.
A strong interest in science would definitely help you in this profession. Being a marine researcher entails that you have to keep asking questions and keep exploring the answers. The most difficult aspect of being a marine scientist is that this requires countless hours of reading articles from credible scientists and writing reports for stakeholders.
The mental and physical challenges of doing research and advocacy in the Philippines is made heavier by the questionable state of employment of more than 70% of our science graduates who are in project-based employment.
Most job opportunities in marine science research are still project-based. This means that there is practically no job security unless you get into teaching. if the lab you're affiliated with are in between projects, there will be months where you don't have a paycheck. This can be difficult, especially if you're just starting out in research and you need a steady income. If you think going out on fieldwork is like going on a vacation, think again. Our job is physically demanding. It is usual to have days where we have to do 2 to 3 dives with a bottom time of at least 90 minutes per dive.
Another challenge that we face is how to communicate the importance of taking care of the ocean to the next generation, especially considering that a lot of them haven't even seen the wonders under the sea. And so we need allies among the youth to effectively translate the wisdom of our research into something that can be understood by their peers, so we can raise a generation of ocean-loving citizens.
So far, the most difficult aspect that I've been faced with in pursuing my love for the ocean is being in a business school that previously lacked sustainable programs and environmental organizations. Although it did not hinder me from pursuing what I am passionate about, but it even pushed me to do better. But I, along with my partner Holly Pantaleon, and several people that were very skilled and dedicated to put up an environmental organization in our university, which is known as ALON, or the Association for the Land and Ocean's Necessities.
Despite these challenges, the value of our marine natural resources make it more than worth it to continue the good fight. But our SHE-roes have their own personal motivations as well.
Every time I dive, there's always something new and interesting to discover. This is probably the most fulfilling aspect for me as a marine researcher. The ocean has plenty of secrets to tell, and as a scientist, it's my job to discover those secrets and make them understandable for people.
The most fulfilling aspect of becoming a marine scientist in the Philippines is getting to interact with people whose livelihoods are dependent on coral reefs. The stories they tell about how the ocean sustained their families, others for multiple generations, are inspiring. Knowing that the information we get from studying the ocean helps local government units in the management of their coastal resources is rewarding. When you think about how your work is going to benefit the ocean and the people whose lives are intertwined with the sea, the seemingly difficult task and the physical demands of the job suddenly becomes meaningful.
Because it wasn't just for me and for my pleasure, but I realized that it doesn't only help our Earth but the people residing in it. Because at the end of the day, we're taking care of our surroundings because it's what keeps us alive. It's for our future and the future generations. Also, I want to add, another fulfilling aspect is knowing that an average person like me can make an effect on the people around me. And hopefully, one day I'll be able to inspire many people to do the same.
The ups and downs of being an ocean advocate is similar to the ebb and flow of the ocean itself. Our low tides can leave us tired, demotivated, and scared. But on our best days, our passion can result to a tsunami of positive change that the center of marine biodiversity can certainly benefit from. So I hope you can join us in our continuous campaign for the protection of our oceans.
Keep the flame of curiosity alive. The ocean is a vast area of study. You have to seek opportunities that will allow you to identify your interests. If you're interested in marine conservation, start by learning from webinars hosted by NGOs or watch documentaries about marine life. Learn about the problems of coastal communities and figure out how science can address those issues. At the end of the day, just keep swimming.
But you don't have to be a marine biologist to work in marine science research. For example, I am a chemical engineer by profession, and I'm learning how to run artificial seawater systems to support research on corals. The scope of the work that needs to be done to protect the ocean is large enough that there is always an area for you to work in. My message is this: you can always learn.
So just like you guys, I'm only aspiring to be a marine biologist. So all I can really say and suggest is to know yourselves. Know who you really are, what you really want to do, and your intentions behind what you're doing. Because you should be able to give your all to something that you will eventually be committing yourself to. And for me, being a marine biologist is a way for me to be able to help our country, the people, and our planet. So, to all aspiring marine biologists out there, never give up and always believe in yourself.
Thank you so much to our SHE-roes for giving us a glimpse of what it's like to be an advocate for the Philippine seas. I hope you were able to learn something from our short video for today. And if you did, I hope you can give this video a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to our channel. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to message me, your resident Filipina scientist, in the comments section below. Thank you very much, and see you around!